A tranquil morning bathed the forest in golden light as the Buddha settled beneath an ancient banyan tree. Disciples gathered quietly, their faces reflecting anticipation and devotion. Awaiting the Buddha's teaching, the rustling leaves whispered, and the forest seemed to hold its breath as he began to speak. Many years ago, a man burdened by uncertainty came to me. His steps heavy with despair, the Buddha began. They rise like waves and drag me down relentlessly. Buddha opened his eyes slowly, his gaze meeting mine with a compassion so deep it felt like an embrace. Emotions are natural, Buddha said softly, his voice like the still waters of a lake undisturbed by wind. They rise within us, like clouds gathering in the sky, he continued, gesturing upward. But they are impermanent. I struggled to find solace in his words, my turmoil refusing to release its grip despite the wisdom he offered. Master, I pleaded, how can I find peace when anger, fear, and sorrow engulf me so completely and unrelentingly? Buddha motioned for me to sit, his calm demeanor inviting stillness even as my heart raced with despair. Imagine your mind as a vast lake, Buddha said, his hands mimicking the expanse of water glistening in sunlight. When a storm comes, the surface of the lake becomes disturbed, its stillness shattered by the wind's force. His disciples' faces reflected understanding and thoughtfulness, their hands clasped as they absorbed his wisdom. I led the man to a nearby field, where seeds were scattered upon the earth, waiting for their moment to sprout. See these seeds? I asked. He nodded. Resisting the storm only amplifies its force, he warned. But watching it without fear allows you to endure its passing. Buddha gestured to the trees surrounding us, their branches swaying gently in the breeze that carried whispers of life. Look at these trees, he said. They do not resist the wind, nor do they break under its force. They bend, they sway, they adapt, Buddha continued, his voice filled with reverence for the lessons nature could impart. You too must learn to bend with your emotions, he said, neither clinging to them nor pushing them away forcefully. Acceptance is not surrender, he clarified. It is the understanding that emotions are part of the human experience. Fleeting yet impactful. Gratitude, I repeated, tasting the word as though it carried within it a hidden remedy for my long-suffered ailment. Reflect on your blessings each day, Buddha instructed, and you will find the mind redirects from envy to contentment. Observe your emotions without judgment, he advised, for judgment only adds to the turmoil, creating layers of suffering atop the original pain. Every emotion holds a message, Buddha explained. Anger may point to a boundary crossed, fear to a vulnerability, and sorrow to loss. He elaborated, even apparent missteps provide lessons, shaping your understanding and refining your connection to your true purpose. One disciple whispered to another, he speaks of life as an art, each action a stroke upon the canvas of existence. But what of ambition? I asked. Does not ambition fuel growth, urging us to strive for greater heights? Ambition unbalanced by wisdom becomes poison, Buddha said. Balanced, it becomes the vehicle that carries you forward without harm. His words painted vivid imagery within my mind, guiding me as though illuminating hidden paths of thought I had never walked. To manage the fire, you must stop adding fuel, Buddha advised, and provide space for it to burn itself out naturally. Breathing is your ally, he continued. A slow, deep breath can calm the flames, creating space between you and your emotions. Buddha closed his eyes briefly, demonstrating a breath so deliberate and deep it seemed to draw the entire forest closer. Breathing mindfully anchors you, he said, allowing you to witness the fire without becoming consumed by it or losing control. As his words ended, the disciples sat in contemplative stillness, the teachings rippling through their thoughts like waves on a tranquil lake. The forest around them seemed to exhale, the leaves swaying gently as if bowing in homage to the wisdom shared. Emotions may return, he acknowledged. But remember, they are not who you are. They are visitors passing through your mind. You have the power, Buddha said, to decide whether to welcome them briefly or allow them to overstay and take control. Another day, the forest awoke with the chorus of birdsong, sunlight piercing the canopy and spreading warmth among the disciples. The Buddha sat cross-legged, serene and motionless, awaiting the gathering of his followers under the sacred banyan tree. He began to speak, his voice steady and calm. Once, a young woman came to me with despair in her heart. The disciples listened intently, their breaths quiet, their eyes fixed on the Buddha's serene countenance. Soon, the villagers gathered, their weary faces forming a sea of desperation, each looking to the Buddha for solace and wisdom. The Buddha turned to his disciples, selecting Sariputta, Ananda, and myself, entrusting each of us with a task. Remember, Buddha said, his tone imbued with a warmth that carried through the forest. You are not your emotions. My dear disciple, you are the observer, the witness, the stillness beneath the storm, he concluded, his words a beacon of hope and clarity. I bowed deeply, my gratitude immeasurable, the once relentless storm within beginning to transform into a calm I had never known. The forest embraced us, the leaves rustling softly as if nature itself bore witness to the transformative power of Buddha's wisdom. Lastly, Buddha said, turning to me, find a way to bring comfort to those who feel forgotten in their suffering. Uncertain but determined, I wandered through the village, observing the lingering shadows of despair and the silent cries for solace. Buddha sat beneath the shade of the Bodhi tree, his posture emanating stillness like a pond untouched by falling leaves. Master, I began, my voice steady, yet burdened by inquiry. I observe emotions, but struggle to discern their deepest origins. Buddha lifted his gaze to mine, his eyes reflecting compassion and understanding as he prepared to untangle my perplexing thoughts. Emotions arise from the dual forces of attachment and aversion, he said, his words revealing a balance that framed human experience. He motioned toward the river's flow, its persistence evident even as it danced around the stones embedded in its course. I told her, learn from the river. Buddha gathered a handful of soil and let it spill from his palm, each grain falling as if illustrating transient impermanence. This soil nourishes the seeds placed within it, Buddha explained, just as your attachments and aversions fuel the growth of emotions. Blessed One, what if the obstacles before us seem too vast to overcome? How do we maintain hope? The Buddha's gaze met the disciples, his voice calm yet resolute. Hope is the light within, guiding you when the path grows dark. Trust in your purpose and press forward. He resumed the tale, his narrative weaving wisdom into the hearts of his attentive audience. The young woman knelt beside the river, her fingers touching its cool, flowing surface, and she smiled through her tears. But Blessed One, I asked, was my contribution enough when compared to the practical guidance and inspiring stories of Sariputta and Ananda? Tell me, the Buddha replied. Does the rain compare itself to the sun? Or does it simply quench the earth's thirst? The rain does not compare, I answered. It fulfills its purpose, nourishing life in its own way. Exactly, Buddha said. Each of you brought light to this village, and together, you have eased the burden of these people. Meditation becomes your ally, Buddha began. It provides space to observe without judgment, and to let go without needless struggle. When you meditate, Buddha instructed, you create a mirror reflecting your inner thoughts, fears, and desires with unfiltered honesty and clarity. Through meditation, he continued, you unearth insights into your attachments and aversions, discovering their influence upon your emotions and reactions. I nodded, imagining my meditation practice evolving into a lantern illuminating the roots of turmoil hidden within my subconscious mind. She returned to her life. And years later, her efforts bore fruit. Her journey inspired countless others to seek their own purpose. The Buddha fell silent for a moment, allowing the disciples to internalize the profound lessons he had shared. The forest, too, seemed to pause, its stillness a testament to the power of his words. He looked upon his disciples with kindness, his voice rising once more to reach their hearts and minds. The path to purpose is rarely without trials, but within those trials lie the seeds of strength and transformation. Among them, an elderly farmer approached, carrying a small clay pot, his steps slow and deliberate, etched with life's burdens. "Blessed One," the farmer said, placing the pot before the Buddha, "this humble vessel has saved my family during the drought." The forest, alive with the rustle of leaves and the hum of life, became a part of the sacred moment. The teachings of resilience, adaptation, and unwavering determination resonated deeply, imprinting themselves upon the disciples' spirits. The tale concluded, yet its ripples continued to flow, much like the river that inspired it, unending and eternal. Another day, the forest lay cloaked in the silver glow of twilight, fireflies emerging to dance among the swaying trees. "Do you understand, my child?" Buddha asked, "how this pot's essence mirrors the unique purpose within each of us?" I hesitated, my mind grappling with the simplicity and depth of his words. Yearning to comprehend the message fully, Buddha reached for the pot, lifting it gently, as though it held the weight of the universe in its fragile form. "Engage with experiences fully," Buddha encouraged, "but remember their impermanence, appreciating their beauty without clinging to what cannot remain forever." His teachings felt like threads weaving into the tapestry of my understanding, creating images of a life embraced with mindful balance. I bowed deeply before Buddha, the soil beneath my knees grounding me as his wisdom settled firmly into the roots of my being. The forest remained quiet, bearing witness to the profound truths shared beneath the Bodhi tree and the transformation they inspired within me. By witnessing, he continued, you detach from the thoughts, realizing they are fleeting, like clouds drifting across a vast sky. His words painted vivid images within my mind, each phrase peeling away the layers of doubt that had long enveloped me. Does the sky lament the clouds? Buddha asked. Or does it embrace them, knowing they pass and leave its vastness untouched? It embraces them, I answered, understanding dawning like the first rays of sunlight breaking through the horizon's veil of darkness. Likewise, Buddha said, your true essence is the sky, boundless and unchanging, untouched by the passing clouds of comparison. He motioned for me to sit beside him, the cool earth grounding me as his presence seemed to calm my racing thoughts. Imagine life as a journey along a winding path, Buddha said, a path that requires attention and care with every step. If you lean too far in one direction, he continued, you risk falling. Just as imbalance disrupts harmony within your life, the disciples gathered, their faces reflecting eagerness to absorb the wisdom unfolding like petals of a lotus in full bloom. Balance begins with acceptance, Buddha said, neither resisting challenges nor clinging to fleeting joys, but embracing all with equanimity. Master, I asked earnestly, how can I accept hardships without losing hope, or embrace joys without fearing their inevitable end? Buddha's smile was gentle as he replied, acceptance does not mean surrender. It means understanding the impermanence of all experiences. Every joy and sorrow is like the seasons, Buddha explained. They arrive and depart, each bringing unique lessons to cherish. He gestured to a fallen leaf, its surface brittle yet still beautiful, a symbol of nature's cycle and life's transient moments. He added, a meaningful life is not about sacrifice alone but about sharing the light within. creating mutual flourishing. The disciples murmured among themselves, their discussions reflecting the richness of the wisdom they had just received. The disciples nodded, their faces reflecting the glow of understanding, as though the Buddha's words had touched a deep, forgotten truth. That which is unadorned, Buddha concluded, like this clay pot, holds the essence of life's wisdom, simplicity, and enduring strength. Consider water, Buddha said. When faced with a rock, it does not stop, it flows around, over, or through it. Obstacles invite creativity and perseverance, he continued, guiding you to adapt and grow, just as water transforms obstacles into pathways. The poet watched the sand fall, understanding dawning in his eyes. So the present is to be lived, not owned. Balance is achieved by acknowledging emotions without becoming entangled in them, he said. Understanding their messages without losing perspective. Imagine your emotions as waves, Buddha explained. You cannot stop them from rising, but you can choose how to navigate them. With mindfulness, he continued, you can ride the waves, finding calm amidst turbulence, and peace even within the flow of change. I listened, the analogy resonating deeply, each word painting a picture of resilience and grace amidst the unpredictable currents of life. The merchant returned to his life. His heart changed, and began to uplift others through acts of generosity and compassion. The Buddha spoke softly but with conviction. He built schools for children, offered shelter to those without homes, and inspired countless others to share their light. He concluded, through service, he found the fulfillment that had eluded him. His purpose ignited in the spirit of interconnection. The disciples sat in reflective stillness, their spirits stirred by the depth and clarity of the teachings bestowed upon them. Walking this path requires balance, Buddha said, placing one step before the other, adjusting to its challenges with grace and awareness. Each step, whether easy or difficult, contributes to your growth, he continued. Every effort you make becomes a part of your story. He spoke once more, his voice reaching beyond the physical and into the depths of their hearts and minds. Purpose flourishes when we see ourselves not as isolated beings but as part of the great interconnected web of life. He continued, in serving others, we become part of a light that transcends individuality and resonates across existence. The disciples bowed in reverence, gratitude shining in their eyes as they embraced the teachings with earnest hearts. The forest, alive with the hum of nocturnal life and the glow of fireflies, became a sacred witness to the moment. The tale concluded, yet the wisdom imparted continued to ripple, much like the interconnectedness it had revealed, infinite and eternal. Balance comes from appreciating this dance, Buddha added, honoring each moment for what it is without clinging or resisting its nature. I bowed deeply, gratitude welling within me as Buddha's teachings illuminated the path toward a life grounded in mindful balance. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.